Tata Steel Masters 2025? Will it be the world champion Gukesh? Will it be Praggnanandhaa, who's been on fire, on beast mode this entire event? Or will it be Nodirbek Abdusattorov, who not only has to win his game, a must-win against Pentala Harikrishna, but the brutality of chess, David, he's going to be rooting for the one player who took away. For some chess players, it could also mean a night at the bar, but I don't think that's the case for Nodirbek Abdusattorov. But how hard would it have been yesterday for Nodirbek to actually get a full night's rest and to be motivated for today's round?
Yeah, it would have been so difficult. Especially when you feel that you had it in your grasp. He's literally come so close to winning this tournament so many times in the last 2 years now, and there's chances slipping away. He should have beaten Vincent Keimer a couple of days back, should have been maybe a bit more solid against Arjun yesterday, so he could easily be in the lead now. He could even be in a sole lead if he'd played his cards right. It's hard to get the head sorted after that. I've been there myself so many times. You don't prepare. The last thing you want, especially because today's round, Tanya, we should remind everyone, started 2 rounds earlier than normal. And 12 o'clock doesn't seem too early for those with a 9-to-5 job, potentially 12 kind of midday local time. But chess players, they love their sleep. You probably would have woken up a couple of hours before the game, got some food. Last thing you want to do is study openings. So freestyle. And it's funny you mentioned the bar, Tanya, because there is this famous story with Nodirbek and the rest of the Uzbek team in the successful campaign they had at the 2022 Olympiad in Chennai. They wanted to go to the Bermuda party. That's on the night before the rest day. So you have a full 24 hours to relax. It's a party. There are some drinks. There's literally thousands of chess players hanging out, catching up. And the Uzbek team were like, yeah, let's go. But their captain, Ivan Sokolov, banned them pretty much. He was like, you are not going to this party. You are staying in bed. You are going to sleep early. You're going to study chess. You're going to win this tournament. They were gutted, but Nodirbek obeyed the rules, obeyed his captain, got the gold medal for his team. And very impressive. So definitely not a player to be hanging out in the bar. He would have probably have just been trying to forget yesterday's chess in a different way.
And I remember, David, I think for Grandmaster Ivan Sokolov, he really led by example because he himself decided to be with the team that evening and didn't go for the party. And like you said, it worked out to perfection for them. It paid off to just keep your focus on the task at hand. But I do get the feeling that this is something where you arrive at the board, you just won a game, and he's decided to go for G3. And the clock kind of gives that away a little bit right now. It's surprising, right? Because usually in these openings, the king pawn opening, you've got the bishop coming to c4 or b5. You've got the d pawn moving ahead. It's so much about the center game, but this feels like a very cautious approach here by Nodirbek. He wants to place his bishop on g2 instead, go short castle, but then how is this developing? Because I'm looking at ideas of perhaps eventually advancing in the center with c3, d4, or maybe even looking at an eventual f4 break. David, Hari isn't really sure how to approach this. He's gone into a bit of a think himself. Definitely not something he had on his radar.
king after queen trade would be in the center, and the black king would be running towards this pawn. Clearly you don't want a king and pawn endgame where you have the more passive king, so I'm expecting a flurry of checks, maybe from this angle. As long as Nodirbek keeps the queens on, it's guaranteed to be a draw. And just maybe a quick backtrack, Tanya, to see how we got here, because Nodirbek looked like he had some pressure when we last left it, just around the time control. But okay, there's a check. So waiting for the handshake there. It hasn't happened yet, so let's jump in. We left it around move 38-39. White played this move queen to e5. Harikrishna blocked now the white pawn. Now there's no pressure on the b7 pawn. And after the white queen dropped back, there was a check. Very clever check here. And after king to g2, now the black king drops back finally. And this is how the pawns got traded. And yeah, queen takes a4, check, king takes pawn. White's got two weaknesses, unfortunately, so he can't keep the pawn advantage. And here we go, racing towards the finish.
We're seeing a repetition. For Nodirbek, his dream of the title for the third time is about to come to an end. And I think he's coming to terms with that.
Look at that, the two differing expressions, right, Tanya? Harikrishna, he knew it's a draw, he looked quite pensive. He's just like, yeah, fair result, I defended well. Harikrishna was under pressure the whole game, but go to Nodirbek now and look at this. Yeah, frustration on his face. He tried hard. He played very well this game, I've got to say, Tanya. He's played very well the whole tournament, but just fell a bit short. He will regret that missed opportunity against Vincent Keimer at round 11, and then round 12 in this closing stretch, losing yesterday against Arjun. A draw might have been enough if he had been able to win today, but yeah, ultimately, he couldn't get the job done. A draw any second now. Handshake. We're expecting it, Tanya.
It's, I think, about to happen, and we saw Prag there walk by, take a sneak look into what is going on, and he knows this is about to end, so it's going to be all about what he does on his board. As we see the repetition, it almost feels in hurry. He's looking up for the eye contact, and there we have it. Handshakes. Nodirbek gives us another thrilling battle, but the result, David, it's just not enough. The world number 6 for a third time falls short at the finish line.